Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to our next episode of InterJovem, your exchange program on the radio and web. This week, we have a very special guest. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I will start. My name is Liam. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Germany. Thank you for inviting me here for the interview. And right now, I'm in America on American school.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. So, as he said, he is from Germany. Now, where specifically are you from in Germany?
In Germany, first of all, we got 16 states, of course, divided into north, south, east, and west. And I'm from the west, from Rheinland-Pfalz, and yeah.
Awesome. And what would you say is something different between your city or region to the rest of the country?
Basically, which you can difference between every country and region is the stereotypes of German. My country where I'm from, my state where I'm from, we don't have that much stereotypes. We're just average persons, and as soon as you go to the north, there are more stereotypes. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And so I know that Germany has roughly 83 million people, which is a lot, and it's the 7th largest country in Europe, which is very nice. And there's lots of different facts. You know that Berlin is 9 times bigger than Paris, and has more bridges than Venice, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is how is because Germany borders many different countries. It borders kind of Denmark and Poland and France and Belgium, Netherlands, Austria, many countries. How's that like? Is there a big union of people from all these kind of countries since it's so close?
Not a union, but actually all of the Germans, they're going there and visit their country, and they coming to our country. So basically just swap our cultures and just go along with them, and they go along with us. So yeah.
So it's more just tourism and having fun.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. And so I know that how does as you said, there's 16 different states. Do they have different laws and constitutions and things like that? Are they autonomous in their own organization? How does that work?
Okay, so first of all, the laws are basically everywhere the same, but we get different education levels depending on which state you are in. Different kind of treatments with the people to each other, but basically the laws are the same. So.
Okay, and what is the largest state?
The largest state is in the north. It should be Bayern.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. And what would you say is your favorite thing about your country?
About my country is basically my favorite thing is that you really get the 4 times in the year. You get summer, you get autumn, you get winter, you get and you get fall. And basically, if I'm in America here right now, I don't see any winter. I just see summer because it's hot every time. Okay, if I'm living here, I'm used to this, but back in Germany, we got different times.
Yeah. In Arizona, it's kind of different. It's always hot.
Yeah.
Except for the end of the year, it's going to get colder. But, being Brazilian, that we really see, at least where I live in the Northeast, it's pretty much the same weather all year long. You during winter, you might spend 3 days under rain, but that's all. And so how are people there? How did people interact? Are people more warm, or are they more private? And is it in the United States? How is it?
That's actually a big difference to the United States, because in Germany, they interact with each other. Okay, if you know each other with since you were young, then you're pretty cool with each other. But here in America, you can just start to talk with somebody, and he's gonna answer you. He's asking, "How are you? What are you doing here? And where you're from?" And if you're in Germany, if you're starting to somebody, he's basically, for the first moment, he's pretty rude, since he knows you a bit, and then he's getting kind of friendly. But that's how the people in Germany are.
That's interesting, and that's cool. But would you say that society is, let's say, progressive in a way, in a sense of, are they always trying to look to enhance their government and their culture, and are people interested in their in their surroundings, in the history of the country and all that?
Yeah, basically, of course, maybe you know something about the history of Germany. They don't want to identify themselves with the history, so they make something to don't be like the German guy who's always unfriendly, rude, and everything like this. So they kind of changing and trying to be the friendly guys.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so we can't talk about Germany without mentioning cars.
Yeah, okay,
right?
Yeah.
So we know that the biggest probably car brands in the world are in Germany. You have like Volkswagen and BMW, Porsche, Mercedes,
yeah,
Audi, right?
Audi as well, yeah.
And I saw this data that in 2011 there were 5.9 million cars sold. So that's a lot of cars.
Yeah, that is. But first of all, I have to say in Germany we like cars, but if we buy a car, we are like, oh, that's my thing. I want to identify with myself. But in America, they actually using their car much more than we do, because we are walking to go to the store. We're walking around the city, and in America, I got the feeling like everybody's driving with this car, even if it's just like a few meters. Well, and then they use their car. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's interesting. And there's also like a very good like train stations in there as well, right?
Well, yeah, there is. We got a lot of train stations, but the trains are not coming on point every time on time.
Oh.
Like they're not coming on time. You can basically, if it says like, okay, your train is gonna arrive at 12:30, you can say that it's coming at 2.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're a lot late because they just protest against the government because they're getting paid. They don't get paid very well, so that's how they protest. Just don't drive the trains. So.
Mm-hmm. And I also is it true? I heard that most taxis in Germany are Mercedes.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, Mercedes and Volkswagen.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Also, I want to know, so how are highways? Because I know that Germany has a different approach to speed limit rules.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that highways don't have speed limits?
If you're on a public highway, you don't have any speed limits, yeah.
Huh.
So there you can drive a car. If you got an expensive car, then you can have fun there.
Wow. And do car accidents happen a lot?
Yeah, a lot. Wow. Just because of drunken drivers. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And I also heard that it's illegal to run out of gas if you're in some types of streets. Is that true?
Well, illegal, I wouldn't say it's illegal, but it's not seen with I don't know, they don't see it very often. Like if they see it, okay, they're pretty disappointed that you did it, but well, I wouldn't say it's illegal, but they don't want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, is gasoline cheap there?
Not as cheap as in America. So that's the problem. Like you can pay our cars, like the pretty nice cars, you can pay them, but then to pay the gas and everything else, that's expensive. That's what's getting expensive too. So, but yeah, so gas is more expensive than in America, basically.
So car insurance and all that kind of stuff also adds up. Mm-hmm.
That's what is making the car expensive.
And okay, so you said about people drinking and driving. I want to know a little bit about, move the topic a little bit for the government and how laws work, kind of. What is the drinking age, like the age limit?
We have 2 drinking ages. Like you can start drinking beer and low alcohol drinks with 16, and then the high percentage alcohols like vodka and anything else, then you're just allowed to buy them with 18. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I heard that there were this type of also like a party or something with people's family that's kind of like an initiation to drinking. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What is it really common, or is it just?
It's very common. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's cool. And then also I know that it's interesting because smoking is not, it's illegal to smoke in public, but you're allowed to drink.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder where the idea is from. That's very interesting. Maybe because like smoking, but smoke can hurt others.
Basically, because smoking is illegal in the public, we got everywhere you're right now. You got separated places where you're allowed to smoke. So yeah.
Oh, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
And I also know that Germany is very progressive in terms of climate and energy policies, right? And I saw that like I think it was like 2011 or 2012, they made this decision to like shut off the nuclear power stations. I think pretty soon. I think it's gonna like the deadline that they had is probably like 2020.
2019 could be. Yeah.
I don't know. Like 2000. I really don't know.
Yeah.
So that's a big move. It's not you don't see a lot of that happening. Now, going a little bit back to there's also another thing that we can't talk about Germany, don't talk about that, which is beer.
Yeah.
There's over 1,500 different types of beers in Germany.
Yeah.
How do you choose?
Well, you choose because you grow up in Germany, and as soon as you grow up in Germany, you see what is public and what is famous, and then you're just gonna buy this. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a competition between the beer brands and whatever. It's crazy.
That probably makes beer very, very cheap.
Yeah, it makes beer cheap, but high percentage alcohol is very expensive. So, but you can buy beer very cheap.
How cheap?
I think the bad brands you can actually buy for under €2. As I would say, it's like 5 liters under €2. But that's a bad brand. Nobody want to drink that. So actually, you're gonna choose the expensive beer, which is like I would say €10 for a whole chest of beer, which is like 12 1-liter bottles, and then
that's not expensive.
Yeah.
And I know that after Irish people, Germans are the ones who most consume beer in the world. I thought the Germans were number one, but apparently not.
Me too. But actually, beer is like a normal drink, like a soda here in America. You can start. It's not strange if you start to drink a beer at 12 p.m. or whatever. Whenever you want to drink a beer, it's not strange.
Yeah, that's interesting. And is there a lot of education towards drinking responsibly?
Yeah.
Responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility. Yeah, we got a lot of education. We do it in school, talking about drinking and drugs especially. But yeah, drinking is in the foreground. So.
Mm-hmm. And is drinking allowed, like in school grounds or not?
No. No way. But. Of course, students got some life hacks, I would say, and just fill the beer into other bottles, like apple juice, and it looks the same, and then they can drink beer in school. I never did this.
That's interesting. And also, there is Oktoberfest, and there's like a couple that are very big, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that like? Is it really like? Is it considered almost as a holiday, or is it just a festival? How does that work?
It's a festival where actually everybody is taking holiday for. So they're going to drive in the north, the Bayern, the biggest state. That's the most public state for Oktoberfest.
Uh-huh.
And even the guys who service you, like who giving you the drinks, it's one weekend, and they earn about €5,000 a week, and just to bring you beers, and the old guys giving you, because it's mostly young nice ladies, and they giving you extra money. Yeah.
Wow.
Tips, a lot of tip. Yeah.
Huh. And I know that when you talk beer, as you said, in Germany, you're not talking like a can. You're talking about like a liter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is there a lot of problem with alcoholism there?
It is, yeah. Especially like dads and moms, like they're drinking often, and then the kids get mistreated, and that's a big problem in Germany. That many parents don't have any responsibility for their kids anymore because they're just drinking every day, and
I see. So it's like even though there is education behind it, it still happens a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
And how does that drinking relate to the driving? Like, is it a very bad situation, or does it happen only like sporadically, or is it really common for you to see someone that was like driving super fast on a highway and then was drunk and just?
That's very common, because there are a lot of parties in Germany, and of course, if the party is a pretty famous party, but you're like 50 minutes away, you have to go with the car, and you don't want to pay a taxi to go back, so you just drink, and then you say, okay, I still can drive, so you get into your car and drive, and then mostly accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
Yeah. I remember, so I had a German host brother my first year here in America, and we saw a car accident in the highway. He looks at me, he goes, "We would never see that in Germany." And I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because people are usually driving so fast that there's no car left to see." And I was like, "No, that's interesting." Would you say that there's a lot of fatality then?
That's a nice point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably something to watch out for then.
Yeah.
And now I want to know a little bit about education system in Germany. German schools are very famous for having really good quality.
Yeah.
As you said in the beginning of the interview, there's the quality changes throughout states. How is that like? How does education work? Is it free?
Yes, education is free, and actually I can talk about a bit of how many years we got in high school and everything.
Yeah.
Like first of all, we start with kindergarten. The parents just sending you there, and they just learn how to act with each other, how to interact, how to be friendly and everything. And then you go to elementary school, which is 4 years, and you just know the basic stuff of what you need later on. Then you go to high school, which is 11 years, depending on where you're going. It could be 11 years, it could be 9 years, it could be 10 years. And yeah, after you make your A levels, which is the highest point right now from school education, then you go to college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you have 11 years of high school?
I think it's just in one state, but mostly it's like 9 and 10 years. So you get actually 13 years of the entire school career. Yeah.
But does it compare to like middle and high school in the United States then?
No, not at all.
So it's just
completely, completely different.
And so I also know that, as we all know, there was like all the wars that Germany was involved in, and I know that the schools have a very interesting approach to that. I know that they don't. A lot of countries, when they have these kind of occurrences in their history, they try to just like pretend that it never happened and like don't talk about it, so that there's no kind of argument being raised about it. But Germany makes that's what, at least what I heard, that they make sure to teach the students all about what happened in a way to show how that was not right.
Yeah.
Is that how it works, or do they just don't really talk about it?
Yeah, we don't really talk about the details. We just talk about the main events. I think actually everybody or most of the world knows about Hitler.
Yes.
And we talk about him and how they hunted the Jewish and how they mistreated them. So that's basically the stuff we talk about.
And are universities free as well?
No, for university you have to sign in, and then it's not that expensive as in Germany, but you still have to pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does the process of acceptance to these universities work? Do you have like a national exam, or like do your grades matter at all?
Yeah, your grades matter at all. Like some universities, they accept your graduation since 10th grade, and some of you want to have A levels, which is the highest school career, and you can have your highest school diploma, I would say. Yeah, so basically just some colleges want this, some colleges want this. So.
And how going back to high school, how does how many subjects do you have per year? Is it like in the United States you have like, I don't know, like 6 or 7, or do you have in Brazil they have like 15?
That's kind of in Brazil, because we have like sport, German, English, French, whatever. Like we got around, I would say, 13, 12, something like this. So, and we don't have school from, like it's here in the United States. Of course, it depends on where you are in the United States, but basically it's just like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., whatever. And in Germany, you can sit in the school from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you get a lot of school stuff.
Yeah, a lot
of classes. Yeah.
And do you have like any kind of national exam, like something maybe comparable to the SATs or something?
No, we don't have anything we can compare to this. Just like our A levels, I would say that's not the same, but basically, this one you're making the SAT here, and then you're making your A levels in Germany. So different country, different diploma exam. Yeah.
And all right, so okay, that's interesting. Also, I heard that German teachers are very tough.
Yes, very tough and very strict. Like here in America, I see you got a really good relationship to your teachers. You can talk with them whatever you want to, whenever you want to. In Germany, they're just like, no, go and study. If you fail, I don't care. You failed, and so they're pretty rough and strict. Yeah.
And how does it like? Does each teacher have a class, or is it just like one class and the teachers come in and out?
No, each teacher has a class, so we as the students have to walk to the different classes. Okay. Yeah.
Does that change those that things that you were mentioning? Does it change at all throughout the country, or?
No, that's basically everywhere the same. Yeah.
Also, can you go to a private school there? Like, is it easy?
Yeah.
Is it any better?
We got private schools, but they are hell of expensive, like really expensive. But yeah, and we say in a public school, we say like, oh, the private students got rich parents and everything. So yeah.
Is it like considerably better than the public schools, or is it just?
No, it's not actually. Well, depends on your point of view, because some guys, they say it's better because you can buy actually your graduation. But no, all in all, I would say the graduation from a public school is better. Yeah,
that's interesting. And now let's talk about economy a little bit. So I know that it's the largest European Union economy, and I think it was in either 2011 or 2015. The GDP was like $3.8 trillion, and it's the fourth biggest economy behind the United States, and China, and Japan, if I'm not wrong. And so Germany has a lot of different companies and industries and all those kind of stuff that are worldly famous. You have Adidas and Nivea. Is that how you say it? Nivea? Is that how you say it?
Naval, I would say. I don't know how to pronounce it. Everybody on his own. Like
Nivea is like like the hand lotion brand.
Nivea. Yeah. But everybody's
Nivea.
Pronouncing it different. So some guys say Nivea, some Nivea, and
Portuguese say Nivea, and then Bayer as well. Bayer, like the medical one. Bayer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a very big one, and a lot of people don't know that they're German. And I
didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, they're. I think they're actually started at Wuppertal.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna trust you in this.
I think.
Yeah.
And they're very important because they discovered insulin. So that's really big, you know. And also I know that Germany has a lot of metals, right? It has like copper and nickel. Uranium.
A lot of sweets. Yeah. A lot of sweet brand, which are very big. Yeah.
So, how do you think that people have, economy-wise, is it a good, stable economy?
All in all, I would say it's a very good. Yeah.
There's, and everywhere there's always something people can do better, right?
But of course, yeah.
That's good.
That's how competition works.
Yeah. That is very true. And so because of that kind of economy, do you see more German-based companies in there, or do you also see a lot of like multinational companies?
Basically, I would say I see more international companies than German companies. Yeah.
That's interesting. Does that change all throughout, or is it pretty much the same?
All throughout the country is different. Yeah.
That's really interesting, because I know that it's kind of a given that Germany has a great economy, and it's like a $3.8 trillion GDP for a country that is not a huge country. It's really good.
Yeah.
And now food. I know that food in Germany is really good. I know schnitzel, right?
Yeah, schnitzel.
And bratwurst.
And potatoes.
Yeah. I know that there's over 1,000 types of sausages in Germany.
Yeah, that could actually be. Yeah.
That's insane.
You got actually some raw sausages, maybe some raw sausages, but they're pretty good. Like you have to try before you judge, and then So, but basically the food but to be honest, I like the food more in America than in Germany.
You
I don't
do?
know why. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I love bratwurst. I think we eat bratwurst all the time.
Yeah. My grandma makes them perfect.
Oh, that's nice. Is there any other like traditional German foods that people don't really know of?
Not. Yeah, I would say it's traditional, like kind of a pancake, but pancake, and then you mess it up. So that's basically. Yeah.
Like mess it up? How so? Like you just
mess it up with knives and forks. So you just screw it up.
Kind of like scrambled it.
Yes. Yeah. Scrambled. Yeah. It looks like a pancake. It looks like scrambled eggs, but it's a pancake. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And you were talking about raw sausage. Is there any other like raw
meat? We just got raw meat, and then you put it on your bread, and it's
like completely raw, just like
completely raw.
Is there any like at least spice on it? Or something?
No. We just put the raw meat and then maybe some onions on it, and then that's how you eat it. Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And now I also know that they have there's like I don't know, for some reason there's like a stereotype that people from Germany don't really like meats that are not well done. They're either completely raw or they're well done.
Yeah.
Like, is there any reasoning behind that? Or is it just like
no, I think that's cultural thing, how they used to it. Well, yeah, but I would say that's actually depending on where you're living. So actually, again, with the states, so some guys like it like this, some guys like it like that. So
yeah. Now let's talk about sports.
All right. Yeah.
So just before we go to the big topic, I know that Germany has more football fan clubs than in anywhere else in the world. Do people play a lot of football there, or is it just fan clubs?
We got a lot of football clubs and a lot of football fan clubs, as you said. Well, it's not that popular as other kind of sports, but still a very popular kind of sport. I would say a lot of people play it, and then we're gonna buy some players from colleges in America. So that's maybe why they're so big, the fan clubs, because they actually see American players in Germany. So
that's really interesting. That could
be a reason why it's so famous and popular. Yeah.
So they do that for like every sport, like, to like kind of like buy out this.
Yeah, we're gonna buy actually international players. So we got a bit of higher level, skill level. Yeah.
That's cool. Now let's talk about the big one.
Yeah, the soccer one. Yeah.
So is it really a big tradition in Germany? Like, do like basically everybody plays soccer, or is it just like not a lot of people play it, but the people who do are really good? How does that work?
Yeah, I would say a lot of people play it, and that's the reason why it's so hard to go professional with soccer, because everybody's doing it, because you got friends, and at least one friend is playing soccer, and he says like, oh, come for a practice. So I started with soccer as well, and it just doesn't make fun since like a few years, and then if you make it over and over and over again, I was just like, okay, no, that's not mine, so I have to switch, and then but
now you're basketball.
But everybody's playing it.
Yeah,
at least in their free time. Yeah.
Is there like kind of like the stereotype, like as a Brazilian, I have to say, like, you know, get to an American school, like last school that I was at, I got a spot at the soccer team, even though I do not play soccer at all. Just because I was a Brazilian, they just assumed that I wanted to be a part of soccer. Yeah. Do you also like have those kind of stereotypes?
Probably. I don't know how it's on different schools, on other schools, but basically here, like some guys from the school, they were talking like, "Oh, you're German, probably good at soccer," and I was like, "Nah, don't spam me with soccer. I'm like here with basketball, and that's fine enough."
I can't play soccer, not even in video games. I'm really bad, really bad.
Okay.
And you know, we had that 7-1 incident, which we can skip that. We still have one, trophy more than you guys do. So
it's true. Just wait. Yeah. Great things need time. So
yeah. But I have to say that as a Brazilian, we were very at the finals. Germany against Argentina, who is basically Brazilians' arch enemy in soccer. we were really rooting for Germany, even though we were just like crushed by you guys with the 7-1, because you were really, really respectful towards it, and you saw how that was like a huge deal, and you didn't make fun of it. Not at least not a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't go over the top with it. You respected our like the I want to say morning time kind of. But and that was really nice. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. Like I actually think that's because of the sportsmanship we got in sports, because like a win is a win. We don't have to act like, oh, we're the best just because we had one good game. We also had some loss, so some losers, and then we basically just stay on the ground. A win is a win, a lose is a lose. So.
And how's the World Cup broached in Germany? Do people like stop everything and like is it holidays and everywhere? Because in Brazil, like schools stop working and like everything stops working. It's like
no, school doesn't stop working, but the teacher's gonna have mercy with you because you were tired because the games were so late. So they say, oh, you watched soccer, you watched the World Championship, and like, yeah. And they're like, okay, you're fine. Yeah. So it's very popular. Everybody's watching it. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, in Brazil, if it's like a day that Brazil is playing, usually the schools would just like, you know, not open for the day, which is kind of cool.
Public viewing in schools sometimes if Germany's playing, yeah.
Well, that's cool. And honestly, Brazil was very scared of Germany in the last, you know, cup.
Yeah.
We're past that.
Well, yeah. Germany didn't perform that well. So
you know, as you said, sometimes have wins, sometimes you don't. Yeah. Now there are some curiosities that I found about Germany. Germany was just, let me know if you ever heard of it or if you think that that's not right. So I know that Germany, the first printed book ever was made in Germany. It sounds about right, because like Germany was a very big printing center in Europe back in the day, and also it's like one of the countries that most publishes books every year, which is very nice. You know, that's good. We need actually some good learning sources.
I think that's kind of because Germany is pretty curious in everything, so they want to do, I want to learn this, I want to learn this, I want to learn this, so I have to see how I can do it, why I do it, and whatever. So we're just striving for greatness, I would say.
Yeah. And also something that I did not know, and apparently quite a lot of people know that, but I had no clue that Christmas trees were a German tradition. The Tannenbaum, is that how I say? Like Tannenbaum?
Tannenbaum, yeah.
I had no clue. Absolute no clue.
Completely fine.
In that Germany was the first country to adopt daylight saving time, which is a biggie nowadays because like basically every country has it.
Okay.
Arizona does not have that because, you know, it's sunny all day long.
Yeah, no snow, no nothing. Yeah.
And okay, this one is an interesting one. I heard that if you try to run away from prison, you're not legally punished. Is that true?
Yep. You just go back. They're gonna take you back, and you still got the same punishment as before.
Huh. Why?
I don't know why. Well, I actually don't know why.
I asked my host brother, and he said that it's because it's considered as a human instinct to try to be free.
Okay, yeah, that could be, yeah.
So, like...
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Just want to have the freedom again. I mean, you can understand this. If he's sitting in prison for, like, about already 8 years, you want to see the freedom again, and then... You just run out, so you have to go back. Yeah.
It's interesting, you know. Yeah, and if you never get caught again, you're good.
Well, yeah, you are.
And I also, something that I did not know, Fanta was originated in Germany after World War II. I had no clue of that. And, you know, thanks for that.
All right.
I like Fanta.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. And one of the last main things is that, as you said, you know, Germans have a history of always trying to explore and find out new things, and as you were saying, striving for greatness, which is interesting. And as I said, you know, we had Bayer that discovered insulin, which is a huge thing. There's also a lot of music influence that Germany had in the world. They invented the clarinet, which is really nice, and partly invented the television also, and paraffin, and gasoline-based engines. So that explains, kind of like makes sense because of all the, automobilistic market, which is really, really nice. What else? Okay. So the differential gear was also invented there. This is a lot of interesting stuff. LCD screen and Walkmans were also invented there.
Old times, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Germany is a very, I would say it's a very progressive country with a really good economy. And the people I've met so far they're all very intelligent people with very interesting points of views over the world. So it's really a country that I like. I really like German. Actually, German is like the most learned third language in the world. I did not know that. It makes sense.
Oh, me either, but it makes sense, because it's a pretty nice country. Like if you visit there, you got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to have fun. So yeah. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that go to Germany and they go to like. Kind of with the mindset that if they go there, they're gonna party all time because they're like gonna be legally allowed to drink. Do you see a lot of like exchange students in there?
Basically because the exchange students go to school and they find friends, and the friends going to parties, and they're like, okay, come with us to the party. And in Germany, there's a party every weekend. During the whole week, you can go to parties, to different clubs, and so
that's interesting. And is there any like nationality that is more common to see exchange students being from?
I would say French. We got a lot of French exchange students.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from Germany that live near like the border that speak both German and French. And as you said, it's always taught in school as well. Which is really cool. These are like two of the languages that I would love to learn, is German and French. That's really nice. So, speaking of language, how do I know a few words. I know Guten Morgen.
No, alright, the basics.
I know Ich bin müde. Is that how I say it? Like I'm tired.
Ich bin müde.
Müde.
Yeah.
And ich bin hungrig.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is a fact. Must I point out? How do you say Gute Nacht, right?
Yeah, good night.
And Guten Tag.
And
bratwurst.
Of course, the food.
That's pretty much all my vocab in German right now.
Yeah.
How do you say goodbye?
Tschüss.
Tschüss?
Yeah.
Tschüss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you want to be formal, Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Auf Wiedersehen, of course. Yeah. Oh, I also know Danke. Danke
yeah,
schön.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's cool. Auf Wiedersehen. It's cool. So thank you so much for being here. I think that's a wrap for today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. It was really, really interesting. And thank you for being here. And see you guys next week on Saturday once again with our next country. Hope you had fun. Thank you so much.